Hello everybody. Today I'm doing this custom mixed color palette. And what I mean by that is I rarely use the colors straight out of the tube, although a lot of the colors I'm using today are from Arteza. And this is why you don't often see me mixing my paints, because it takes forever. It takes forever. And it's almost impossible for me to share with you exactly the colors that I use, because I use the paints and mix the paints the way that I cook, which is a little dash of this and a little dab of that until it looks right. So I'm also using Arteza's stretched 18 by 24 canvas today. I love their canvases. They are awesome. But one of the colors I can tell you that I used was the Primary Elements by Leslie Onstead. If you have not tried these, they're awesome, super shiny, brilliant. And then I bought this World's Shiniest Silver. Yeah, I don't recommend it at all. It was not shiny. It was not shiny, it was very dull. And in actuality, I think that was one of the reasons I struggled so hard with this painting. I have troubles with silver in general just looking gray in my paintings. So really the only silver that I've ever found that has been absolutely brilliantly shiny has been the High Flow Silver by Golden. Of course, you know, Golden is amazing. And their High Flow products, actually their fluid acrylics in general, are just amazing, but their High Flow Silver is really, 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 really shiny. So anyway, here we go. So I made two little flip cups today, and I want to start by talking about the mistakes, because I think that people are under the impression that I don't make mistakes because my artwork turns out so beautiful. And let me tell you, I do make mistakes, and this painting is a great example of how I can demonstrate a mistake to you. So, one of the biggest things that can determine whether or not your painting turns out is consistency of your paints. And it's the hardest thing to show on camera. You may have heard mound on a mound. That's, I think Gina DeLuca uses that term when she's showing the paint run off the popsicle stick and it leaves a mound on top of a mound, or a trail. Some people say it's like warm honey or whatever, but it's actually quite difficult to show on camera the consistency that your paint needs to be. So while all of the paints that I used today were the right consistency, there was one that wasn't, and that is the baby blue paint. It was too watery. So you can see what happens here. It's basically ruining my whole painting. It's even though I have some gorgeous and beautiful cells, the liquidness of the consistency of the baby blue is absolutely destroying it. So that's one thing. If you're having trouble keeping your cells or your lacing or some of your details, especially in a flip cup, then you know it's just too thin. Now, one paint can throw off the whole mixture. In this case, the baby blue, because the rest of my paints were completely fine. But I knew the second I poured the baby blue into the other paints that it was too thin, and I try to work with it anyway. So you saw me put a ring of milk paint around, and that's why I'm starting to get some of those little pearl cells that are showing up over there on the top left of this painting. I've been struggling with my lighting lately. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm definitely getting some challenges in the lighting department. But oh, you guys, This painting, I can't even, it was just such a struggle. So I started adding colors back in because the milk paint kind of acts like satin enamel and it eats up the paint colors. So I had to start putting color on my balloon and hoping to put it back into the painting. And it just has no composition. There's a few parts I absolutely love about it right now, but the struggle is real. That's all I'm gonna say. The struggle is real, y'all, and I just keep working on it, and it's just getting muddier and muddier. So I decided, oh, I'll do a beautiful high flow silver swipe because I loved the last swipe I did with a high flow gold for the underwater looking waterfall with the butterfly cells. If you haven't seen that video, that's one of my favorite paintings and it just sold. So I thought, ooh, I'll do that again. That was pretty. And it was so muddy. So I really regretted using that gray. I'm sorry, that silver, because it looks gray. It turned into gray. So I start adding more colors back in to try to get some pop. And I just keep going. Oh, this painting is a hot mess. That's all I've got to say. It just, you have to understand too, this is extremely sped up. So I'm working on this for like an hour already, and I'm still, this is my result right now. So I just decide I have to scrape it off. Like, I can't save this. I've worked it over and over and over. It's just gray. There's no swiping that's gonna happen. Like, nothing can happen. So I scrape. That residual color you see on the canvas is the primary elements. I've noticed that whenever I add them to any of my paints, they do stain the canvas that way. So, and they kind of fall through the back of the canvas actually, and it's pretty crazy. So at this point, I scrape it off and I'm thinking, okay, there's some really pretty parts up at the top that I love, and it's hard to see the details. You'll see that at the end, all the little details. But I decide, okay, I wanted to do a swipe anyway at the bottom, so I'm gonna actually do a purposeful swipe with the rest of the colors that I have and make it really dramatic. And hopefully that will add the element of color that I'm seeking and depth. And so that's what I did. I'm swiping with Payne's Gray. That's the first time I've ever swiped with it. And oh my gosh, I love the way it turned out because, you know, we're used to swiping with black, which, as I've said before, is kind of a dead color. So swiping with Payne's Gray was just amazing. Then I added the white for the contrast. And you can see that it's starting to all come together now. Oh my gosh, it was so fun when it finally happened. I was so excited. Hey, thanks you guys for sticking with me during this long painting journey. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you know when I put out a new video. I really appreciate the comments and the loyal supporters, and for any of you that would like to support me or my channel, I would really appreciate it. And there's a link in my description box for my PayPal. And please feel free to donate. Every little bit helps. So even if you think, hey, I don't have much to donate, trust me when I tell you that every single little bit helps me. And also, every painting that you see here is for sale, so if you'd like to own a piece of Heather-Maderart, I would love for you to own a piece of Heather-Maderart. So please contact me, email, Facebook, and we can talk about pricing. I'm still relatively reasonable, I feel, in the art world, and some of my bigger pieces are starting to go for more money, so now's the time to grab a piece if you have seen something that you like in the past. And finally, I want to show you some of the details of this gorgeous painting. First of all, the swipe turned out so pretty. And look at my balloon roll flowers. Just really, really elegant and gorgeous. The blue and red making the purple together, really pretty. And the metallic that you see in the paints was from using Arteza's paints plus a metallic iridescent medium by Winsor & Newton Galleria brand. So, and then also the primary elements have a beautiful shimmer to them. So any paint that I used with the primary elements color in it made that sparkle. I love that right there. It kind of reminds me of like a rooster at a different angle. See, this painting has turned out really dramatic and beautiful in person, so it's really quite lovely. Yes, I love that little piece right there too, with the purple that came through. And see how that Payne's gray dried? It's really dark, but it's not quite black, so you just get that feeling of shadow under there. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and as always, I cannot wait to make more art videos just for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can make more art videos for you.